Hello and welcome to my channel. I'm Queen Bean Tarot and today I am doing a timeless pick a card reading. So for our piles we have this picture and it is being put with the Solis Divinity Tarot, which is this one. Grab a few off the top. Pole number 2 is this picture, the castle with the roses. You're probably going to notice there is a star. Well, there is stars, but there's also our moon in every single one, and that is because we are getting our last super moon, which is also called the hunter moon, and it is the last one for this year. This is the cards we're using. We're using the ShadowScapes Tarot. So, show you what some of these look like. Our next one. Now, I don't know if that's a mockingjay or a something else. If you know what bird it is, do say so in the comments. And for this deck we're using the Lucid Dreams. I've used this one before plenty of times. It's beautiful, very thick, very beautiful deck. Then for our fourth one we have a key with the moon and all that beautiful gold intricate bordering, and we are using the black tarot with it, and this is what they look like. And those are your choices. I will leave you for a moment to pick a pile, and I'll see you when you're reading. Hello all my beautiful pile number ones. If you've chosen this picture, and this is your pile for the last supermoon of 2025 and what to expect from it. So this is energy, how you're feeling, your surroundings, just everything and anything that will be coming through. Remember, these are general readings and I also do not do personal readings. So if someone is trying to ask for anything from you, money or cards or gifts, they are not me, they are a scam artist. Alrighty, so for my beautiful pile number 1, what can I expect from the last supermoon? Okay, so we have, this one sort of came out sideways, but that one was definitely upside down, so I'm going to keep it upside down. What to expect from the last supermoon? This one. Anything else? So this is a general reading, so this is going to be any messages that come through either physically, emotionally, in love, in relationships, in the environment and community around you, in your job, your finances, any part of your life. I do like general readings because all your cards have different meanings. So you will have an air with a wand, with a pentacle, and air, like your swords, your air signs are mental and your wands are passion and physical. And then you have your pentacles, which is all like about finance and materials and stuff like that. There's quite a few here. So yes, I prefer to get all the messages and share them because these are general readings. They can come across 1,000 different ways. If anything resonates, claim it. If it doesn't, you don't have to claim it. It probably isn't for you. It could be for a very specific person. Anything else for my beautiful pole number 1 supermoon? What we do have this one. There is 2 more. Let's see if I can fit these. I should be able to. Let me just slide this down. Sorry for the glare. It is a bit of an overcast day where I'm located. It's really windy. So if you can't quite see this one, push that up a bit. There we go, that should be a bit better. Okay. Well, a positive is that the 3 of Swords is in reverse. So the 3 of Swords is all about like heartbreak, sorrow, pain, you know, like losing someone or something, being fired from a job, you know, a loss of something. So the fact that it's in reverse, it means you're healing, you're moving on, you're forgiving others, or you're receiving forgiveness, which can help you heal. We do also have, so with the King of Wands, I did mention that it was a bit like sideways, but because this one popped out with it and it was upside down, I've taken it in the upside down. But the King of Wands can be a fire sign, so that's your Leo, Sagittarius, or Aries. It can represent a person for some of us. They are a very passionate person. Typically, they are impulsive, so they're very fiery, so they will, you know, make decisions while they're in like a happy or in a fast-paced environment. They're very impulsive. They are someone who might come off quite dominating. This is in reverse. But however, they do tend to know what they want and what they like, and they tend to go after whatever they want. They're a natural born leader. But yeah, they are the embodiment of power, strength, knowing what they want and going for it. They're very, very passionate, very passionate people. This could mean that you gain passions for something and you impulsively jump into it, and not realizing what you're jumping into because you've done something impulsively. It's been a bit of a ruthless decision to the point that it wasn't what you expected. That can lead to our next card, which is the 5 of Cups. So feeling like you regret jumping into something so impulsively. You could even be jumping into, this could be a rebound if you did get your heart broken and you're trying to move on. So trying to move on, you impulsively get with someone and it's not like a proper partnership. You feel you regret it because it isn't what you were actually after. You were just living in the moment, being passionate. But yeah, it could be that you get blamed or you have to take responsibility for said actions, which, I mean, that is way life works. When you do something, you've got to take responsibility for it. You are strong, you are a capable person, you are a very independent person, and I feel like maybe this has probably shaken you and your confidence a little. Like you're like, I'm not that kind of person, or I don't typically do this. I try to be very careful. I've been trying to stop my recklessness or my impulsivity. It might make you lack some confidence. You'll probably feel a bit weak or doubting yourself. There could be that. It does say lacking courage, so I feel like this really puts you in a down mood, something to upset you. Probably, I think it's gonna end up helping you in the long run. So a lot of people don't realize that that kind of person will do something in that sort of manner, whatever this is relating to. And it helps you to actually journal and to seek therapy and to work on yourself and go inside a bit. In doing so, you might learn something about yourself. Or in doing this, you have to slow down. You have to prioritize certain changes in your life. And with the moon card is delving deep. It is the unconscious. It is your intuition. It's your insecurity. It's things that is like, it's not, so it can be deception by others, but I feel like this is really you this month. Your actions, your thinking, I feel like your thinking and your actions are sort of like not, they are connected but not on the same page. Like, you're going through heartbreak, so you do something impulsively, you know, physically, which comes back and bites you in the backside, and it upsets you emotionally and gives you more physical burdens, more issues, and then you know, it affects your confidence and your mentality. So I feel like it's all sort of connected. Of course, our whole body is connected, our mind, spirit, and soul, you know, like our bodies, our emotions, what we think connects to the way we feel, and what we think also connects to what we do, and what we do can make us feel something. You kiss someone, you're going to feel emotions from that, for example, but that's a physical action you took, and you thought impulsively, I'm going to kiss this person, but you regret it later because you shouldn't have acted on a thought, you know. That's just an example. I'm not saying that's what's happening. But yeah, I feel like you feel like you've gone back a few steps, and you're having to rebuild a foundation, work on yourself. I feel like you will get, you will make a lot of progress looking deeper on yourself. And I feel like you're going to probably mend some bonds, or fix some broken bridges with some people. And yeah, you might be connecting with family, friends, people who truly know you, and you're like, you have to be like, I stuffed up, I didn't think I would do this, this isn't the kind of person I am. And they can be like, we know what kind of person you are, and yeah, we can agree. You know, and you're like, oh, I've done all of this because I feel like maybe there was more to it, or maybe you see something, you come to learn something from doing all of this, like you've seen a pattern or something like that. However, do expect there to be, like, some people probably won't accept what you've said. They probably, your actions spoke louder than them knowing you, so they probably do turn their back on you. However, I feel like it's going to take time. This feels like it's going to take a lot of time. This could be something that's going to take a big chunk, or like a majority of like this year into the next year. I feel like you're going to be working a lot on yourself. Like, this is going to take quite a few like months. Yeah. However, you do come back into balance. You get control of your emotions and your thinking. So the King of Cups, he's about like, he doesn't, you know, make choices based on his emotions. Like, he does it with his emotions, but with his head as well. Like, he makes the right choice that's going to benefit him, you know, mentally, emotionally, physically. So he's in a proper alignment, very balanced. He's in control, but he's also diplomatic, but he's also compassionate. So he's got the ability to think and be rational and make the right decisions, but also very compassionate and caring and kind, and, you know, utilize his emotions in the right way. And, you know, success, completion, achievement, like, you got the world at the very end here. So it does work out, but this is actually a really deep journey, pole number one. So perhaps this supermoon's going to be making us feel quite emotional, making us get into our feels and become a little bit, what's the word, impulsive, do things without thinking, and then unfortunately, you know, the repercussions have to be faced. This could be anything, from, you know, an emotional relationship ending, jumping into bed with someone else, to spending money you weren't supposed to spend, and then you end up getting yourself in a bind, saying something impulsively and someone takes it the wrong way and you break up a friendship, taking on a job, being let off of a job because of actions. Do know that when you say something, you have to stand by it 100%. So don't say things that you don't mean. That's one thing I'm getting here. Like, you might have to suffer the repercussions of your words as well, not just actions but words. This could be the person who is maybe someone else does something impulsive that's going to affect you. Maybe you end up with a ruthless new boss come in and they just let you off. So it could be something that isn't even your own impulsivity. But this seems to go on for quite some time. Let me see. Just any advice, please, for my beautiful pole number 1. If you were to give them advice, it would be, oh wow. Yeah. I feel like it's gonna be leading with your brain, being curious, learning. If someone lets you off, I'd suggest, like, you know, investigating like what is legal termination and what isn't. They could have done it illegally. You might find someone that you have a very good intellectual talk with. It, you know, makes you feel youthful again. Doing stuff that makes you feel happy. When you feel happy, you tend to feel young again, because when you're young, you do tend to feel when you're young, you are happier. So a lot of people equate their happiness with youth as well. You could have some forward-thinking ideas that you've always wanted to work on, but it's like a huge thing in your, I don't know how to do that. I don't have those, you know, the capability. So I'd suggest just going for it. It doesn't matter if it's going to come out like, you know, let's say you want to draw a manga. It might come out terrible, but you know who else was terrible at drawing? Original creator of One Punch Man. Gosh, his webcomic is terrible. And then it got remade, and then they made an anime. And yeah, look how he's going. Like, he couldn't draw. He slowly got better as time went on, and you'll notice that with a lot of those artists. Like, when they started drawing, they never used to draw like that. Their drawing capability changed as they done it longer and longer and longer, and got better and better and better. The more you do something, the better you get at it. You get acquainted with it. You get you learn little tips and tricks. You get better all the time. This one is also another fire sign. You've got quite a bit of fire here. I know that there's a lot of other ones, like there's earth and there's, you know, but like I just feel like the fire, like this, your staffs, your wands, are really burning bright during this moment of this super moon affecting you. So the 7 of Wands, yeah, you might actually feel like whatever this you get curious or want to do, there's a lot of competition, and people might, you know, trash talk you and that, but don't let it get you down. They're doing that because they know you're good and capable. You have really good original ideas, and to go with it. It's gonna, you know, be everything you've ever wanted. It's gonna come full circle. That's why I keep hearing full circle. It's gonna come full circle, and you will get what you want. So if you feel like you've lost something, like let's say you do get fired, or a relationship breaks up, or, you know, it's something very heartbreaking, or, you know, you're trying to, you know, grow and learn, go with the flow, because it's definitely worth it. It will definitely be worth it. I would say this is for advice. It will tell you to be careful, like, you know, how the King of Cups is about balance. So this one is saying, you know, be balanced with your emotions, your money, security, stick to your guns. But also I'm getting the whole raise your head high, hold your head up high, and with all these people who are trash talking you, be more mature than them, be more wise than them, and hold your head high and walk past them. They don't lower yourself to their standards. I know sometimes that can be hard, but don't. And you'll actually prove, one, your character, two, you'll be able to you know, not fall into their trap. Some people might actually have a trap for you there. So I'd suggest to think of your long run. This could also be showing that sticking to, as advice, focusing on gaining for your dynasty and your family and your wealth, and put your, what's the word, put your like all of your attention and your finances, that put it into what you love and what you want. Put it into what you can gain a reward from. So yeah, that is the advice messages for the last 2025 supermoon for my beautiful pole number ones. If anything resonated or something did you know, seem relevant, or you like the advice given to you by spirit, please leave a like, comment, share, subscribe. I appreciate any and all of it, and I'm leaving you with lots of love, light, and positive vibes, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye. Hello, my beautiful pole number twos. If this is the pole you chose, the beautiful roses and the castle with the moon, I think that's a little fairy or bird, this is your reading. So this is for any and all messages. It's a general reading for what to expect from the last 2025 supermoon, because our supermoon is the last one. It's the hunter moon, and I imagine a supermoon will definitely affect us. It will have a big role to play in our lives, whether that is emotional, physical, mental, you know, financial, job-wise, anything and everything. And I feel like there's going to be some sort of messages to come through. Do remember, this is general. Take what resonates, leave what doesn't. Okay, this is also a ShadowScape deck. It's beautiful. Got a lot of cards coming through. Anything else for my beautiful pole number twos? What to expect from the last 2025 supermoon? How it might impact or affect them. Oh my god, so many. Okay. We'll also get some advice a bit later on. I'm trying to, there we go. Might be able to fit one more card here. Anything else? This one sticking out. The Knight of Wands. Okay. Beautiful pole number twos. Nine of Pentacles. You're living your best life. You're living little bits of luxury, it seems. Queen of Cups. Your cup is full. You're feeling like you're living on cloud nine. Honestly, nine. Ace of Swords. New ideas. New opportunity. It could be new mental clarity. Maybe you're doing something to positively benefit yourself. Ten of Cups is having all your cups full, all your worldly goods. You have a great partner, great children, great family life, great job. Then we have the Four of Swords. You might need a rest. Slow down. Sit on a, you know, like if someone's like, oh, let's do this, and you're not sure if that's what you want to do, sit on it and meditate on it and think about it, sleep on it. The King of Pentacles. So King of Pentacles is your earth signs. This can represent a male. The Queen of Cups can represent a female in your life. Maybe someone's going to be giving you a new opportunity. Maybe you see a female therapist or counselor, and she is a water sign for your, you know, your Queen of Cups. You do also have a King of Pentacles here. a Page of Cups, someone coming in with advice or information. You are thinking about your future. Whatever this is that comes your way, you're thinking about it. Five of Swords is going to cause some arguments. Oh, and you have another page. You got Page of Pentacles as well. This is very interesting. So your Page of Pentacles can be offering you like financial information, a new job offer, or information about a business, or someone who you work with gives you a rumor or something. This could also be in the financial realm, like maybe you hear from your bank and like, oh, did you know about this transaction? It feels a bit like there's a deception. I feel like you're living a brilliant life. I feel like you think you're living a brilliant life. I'm only given what messages I receive. But it feels like something gets revealed, shown to you. It makes you think about the future, and there's arguments. This doesn't have to be so deceptive and evil. It could be that, like, you book something to go to, like on a cruise or something, and there is, like, you get a message saying that, you know, there's we got to change your room or something, and there's arguments because that doesn't work out for you, and you've paid so much, but you probably get your money back. However, you don't trust the people who might have changed that. Like, you probably don't trust the cruise lines anymore, or you know, someone was moving in the shadows or being deceptive, aka they could have left it to the very last moment to tell you. This Seven of Swords can be things unseen, or you become aware of something. You finally see something for the first time, but it's typically someone being deceptive or tricky, or, you know, very sneaky. Sorry, I was thinking tricky, but I'm like sneaky. No, it's sneakiness. This could even be you being sneaky and manipulative and working in the shadows. But the Knight of Wands is fast action, fast movement, and it's like passion, and this could be moving forward with emotion and action working together at the same time. But yeah, it seems like it really does seem like you're having a brilliant, like, whatever this is, you're living a brilliant life. And then it's as if this could mean that you did, you know, get hurt and you had to slow down. And now you're thinking towards your future, and it's caused a few mishaps because you've had to change things. You had to change some ideas, some decisions about your life and your future, and other people who is in your life doesn't like it, or it affects your job, or someone, like, something had happened and you're taking it to court. I only say that because there is your Page of Pentacles, which means you can be receiving some money or compensation. But typically your pages are youthful and they're messengers. Typically they're messengers. So you could get a message about deserving money, or someone's like, you have a case. But something to do with this King of Pentacles. I like to think maybe your partner is a King of Pentacles or something. Doesn't mean they have to be a male. If you're a male and you're watching this, this can be your partner is you know, a Taurus, Virgo and Capricorn. But it's very interesting. This is you seem to have multiple things happening in this, from this energy. It seems like you started off so great, but I feel like this supermoon for you, the Hunter Moon, it is called the Hunter Moon, it's going to reveal something that you weren't aware of. And the moon does affect our perception. It affects our intuition. It affects our creativity. It affects our moods and our hormones. It affects everything because it is our satellite. It does have its own energy, its own field, its own gravitation, its own entity. And that's where the word lunatic comes from, because the lunar cycles affects humans, but also animals. It affects the tides. If it has that big of effect on our planet, what does it do to us when we have so much water in us, you know? We get affected by the moon as well. It affects our tides, it affects our currents. Of course, it can affect us. So I feel like you get shown something or you learn something. And there's like, it seems to be something, I've got a feeling like it could be that someone said, oh no, it's not what it seems, and you sort of feel gaslighted. I feel like because of the Four of Swords rocking up straight after the Ten of Cups, because the Ten of Cups means you have everything, your cups are full, you are fulfilled in every way possible. And then you got the Four of Swords straight after, like, oh, you gotta rest. Like, you gotta rest from feeling so full. Like, that doesn't make a lot of sense. So I thought maybe it was like you get hurt or, you know, something like that. However, it could be that you learn something and it takes you by surprise to the point of feeling like you're wounded. And you're having to take time. You might be, I've got a feeling you're thinking over something, like you're sleeping on it, you learn something, and I feel like you might confront someone or you get more information, you get it from a third party, and it continues on. I feel like this could be a long drama saga, like someone's on an episode of Bold and the Beautiful. I'll just ask for some advice from Spirit, on what to do when it comes to your reading pole number 2. Also, this card reminds me of a bit like a tower, but a very positive tower, like you've made your own castle. So I think maybe you've had such a beautiful life where you feel like you're a princess living in a castle, or you're a king in your castle or something, and someone's going to try and knock down that castle, hence when we have deceptiveness. I've got a feeling this feels like the Knight of Wands, where you're passionate, and that I also feel like you're emboldened and you're standing your ground. You've put down a boundary, like a line in the sand. You're like, no, I'm not. Like, look at this. He's facing this, like he's facing it head on, like the deceptiveness. And I feel like it's been going back and forth quite a bit. Like, there's a lot of up and down for my beautiful pole number 2s. So I feel like this moon is going to enlighten and show you a lot. 5 of Pentacles. Ooh, okay. Yeah, we've been either deceived, left out in the cold. We've been betrayed. We've been stabbed in the back. Perhaps by a King of Swords, or you're having to reevaluate everything. So I feel like for advice, you're getting told to put all your ducks in a row. Like, you're hurt, like you're really emotionally upset. You could lose something. There's a lot falling out. You could lose finance, business. You could lose something from whatever this is. Like, it seems to be affecting you quite a lot. Okay, so for advice, I would suggest get your finances in a row, reevaluate, get back to the drawing board, reevaluate, and take step by step. Protect yourself. Be very direct. Cut out all the BS. This is what the King of Swords is: direct. He's honest. He knows exactly what to do to benefit himself, and he protects himself. He's very clear on what is okay and not okay, like what he's gonna do and what he's not gonna do. The Chariot is go full ball, go straight ahead, overtake any, take down any obstacle, go straight through it. I feel like whatever this is, you're gonna face it head on, and you're going to literally annihilate. It feels like scorched earth. I'm sorry, but like, it feels like scorched earth. Like, if someone does do you dirty, which I am getting from this, I don't know if it's like a partner, it could be a friend or a business. Like, maybe you own a business and some of the other people, like shareholders or whatnot, want to vote you out, but you're like, hey, here's the contract, here's the original paperwork, I'm the main shareholder, I own this business, you cannot, get rid of me. And you end up, judging, like, you know, dealing out, like, it works in your favor, but I feel like you have to sort of center yourself. Like, I feel like this is going to hit you much harder than what people perceive it to. Eight of Wands, yeah, you're going to be moving very fast, very direct, and communicating very clearly. You're not taking shit anymore. Sorry for the for the words, but yeah, this is a very it's both a very direct message and also very dramatic. I feel like whoever this is, like, whoever this resonates with, whoever this is for, you've got a lot. Like, I feel like there's someone not in your corner around you. You know the saying, keep your friends close, keep your enemies closer. I feel like this person has done this with this foresight, with this intention, and you're gonna have to clean house because of it. Like, it's like you've got a rat in your pantry, you know? So yeah, Eight of Wands, yeah, communicate and be very clear. Sorry, I had to pause. I just had my father ask if we had a parcel delivered, and it's claiming it got delivered, but we didn't get anything. So take that for what you want. And our last card is Wheel of Fortune. It was on the very bottom of the deck, so I've just pulled it from there. It sort of just shone with the purple, the pink, the blue, and the yellow. Like, the colors are really compensating and, you know, bouncing off of each other. So yes, I feel like it will be a close of a cycle. Whatever this is, it seems like it happens suddenly, but I feel like you sit on it for a while. You're going to consider everything, and you're going to grab some more info and facts, and it's gonna cause issues, either with you, like, or with others. You could be recuperating and getting it's like picking up all the swords that you can to prepare for a battle. I feel like it's going to be big for you, but, like, other people aren't going to notice, or they're not going to see it, or they're not going to hear about it, if that makes sense. But yes, I'd suggest to get you things organized, but it is going to work out for you. If you have good karma, it's going to show. It's going to come around in your favor. But yeah, it is the end of a cycle, and the Wheel of Fortune is all about good luck. I've just noticed nothing came out in reverse. Nothing came out in reverse. Sometimes I take reversals, sometimes I don't. If it's a very obvious reverse, I do, but this one, nothing came out in reverse at all. So my beautiful pole number 2s, this is the reading and the advice for you. Let me know if it resonates, if anything stuck out to you. If you want to come save this and come back later and let me know, I love hearing about that. But for now, I'm going to leave you with lots of love, light, and positive vibes, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye. Hello, my beautiful pole number 3s. For those of you who chose this beautiful picture, I just love that we have this here. We have, like, the little, oh, it's so beautiful. Anyway, this is your reading. So this is to see how the supermoon, the last supermoon of 2025, will be affecting us or you. For the general reading, do know it's a general reading. Take what resonates, leave what doesn't. And we will be going, we'll be taking anything that comes through. It's just general, so we're not doing a very specific thing. We're just getting all the things that do come through. Some messages might hit, some might not. This is just a collective, so we're going based off of a general. Alrighty, my beautiful pole number 3s, how is the last 2025 supermoon affecting them, their life, their finances, their partnerships, their jobs, their mentality, their emotions? Oh, we're winning. We're positive. Oh, I don't like when that happens. Winning, success, public recognition, achievement. So I believe, like, at the very beginning, like when this has, you know, this energy is hitting you, when you're receiving messages. Okay, because these came around, I'll take them It came up upside by the looks of it. Yeah. Okay. So it seems like you're feeling really recognized. You're very being praised. You might get a reward or win something, and it seems to be you're rolling with that success. You're taking actions because of it. However, you might find that this is a very like you might get a new job and find that it's very like the work life is quite imprisoning. Like you might feel stuck, or like, oh my god, all I do is work, and then I go home and I feel like I eat, sleep, and then I'm back at work again. Like you just blink and you're always at work. I feel like that you might be choosing to take action and get clarity and make a choice and a movement, a difference in your life. These are coming out very, very, what's the word? Messy? They're feeling cluttered. They're feeling jumbled, I should say. So you might be all over the place, like you love something, but you're like, I don't want to put in the amount of effort for it, or I also feel stuck. Or let's get some more clarity. Knight of Wands. Now, I'm pretty sure for the last two, pole 1 and 2 also had the Knight of Wands. Like, in the last one, they had the 5 of Pentacles, but it was in, like, for advice. It was, like, in the advice section. So, let's see. Anything else? Nope, we're not getting anything else. Okay, that's where we're going to be finishing. Alrighty. Let's evaluate. So yeah, this is like a self-imprisoned position. Negative thoughts. You could be lacking some confidence, which is very weird because you just had the 6 of Wands and the Chariot. You could be traveling somewhere and it wasn't what you thought it was going to be like. Or just because you're doing great doesn't mean all your issues are fixed or solved. It could mean that you still have other things to deal with. This could be bad thoughts, needing to speak to a counselor. You probably do seek out a counselor or a therapist or someone of that mental clarity, someone who might help you out mentally, because your swords are air, which is mental, like your mental state of mind, your thoughts, you know. This could be you taking control of your mental thoughts and changing it around, because you might get some information that's going to help you live a bit of a better lifestyle, a bit more happier, a bit more clearer. You have the 2 of Wands. Now with this one, I always think of the song, should I stay or should I go now? It's like 1 foot in, 1 foot out. And it makes me, it's making me think of, what's that, is it Stranger Things? You know how in the very first season when he's stuck in the walls and his mum, played by Winona Ryder, I think that's her name, she keeps hearing the song, should I stay or should I go now? That's what it makes me think of, like you're stuck in the walls. Like there's something that's making you stuck, but there's other things where you're like, you could just walk away. Like you're strong enough and capable enough to like move on from it instantly. So I think, yeah, you do have something you're having to make a choice on. Your 2s tend to be like balancing choices, decision making, and this one is like waiting for your ships to sail in. It feels like you're making some moves mentally and you're getting there. I think for a job or for finances, I feel with that you're really doing good, because you don't have Pentacles really showing up, and the only one you do have showing, like this one is brilliant, you do have this one later on. However, I feel like that's what this is connected to, but there's other parts of your life, it feels like there's things that aren't, what's the word, there's things that aren't really syncing up. So I feel like you're still looking at the future. You're probably always feeling and thinking like, where can I do better? How can I improve this? Like you might be like, let's say you're the CEO of a business, of a company. You're earning millions and you're still thinking like, okay, how can I do better? what's my next step? How can I get better? You know, like, I feel like you've always got that mindset. The 5 of Swords is disagreements, conflict, competitiveness. Yeah, you could also have someone can offer you and like, oh, I'm interested, let's go out. This could also be something to do with work or diplomatic. You probably have some negative thoughts or troublesome thoughts or cumbering thoughts because of the job you have. Even though the work you do is great, or the quality of work you do is great, and you know the job you have is secure and it is doing great, I feel like you still worry about it. Like, I feel like you have a lot of personal what's the word, like, you have a lot of personal involvement. Like, you put yourself personally into the role. Like, you've invested a lot of your energy, effort and time into this job to the point you're personally invested into it, to pretty much to the standard that, like, if someone says something bad about the business you work for, you take that as a personal attack. Like, it feels like that. That's what makes me think like this is your own business, like you're an entrepreneur, or you know, something of that sort of caliber. But I do feel like either someone's coming to you with a new creative endeavor or a new diplomatic sort of, you know, offer. If someone does, it's probably going to end in failure. If that does happen, maybe your competitor is like, well, how about we join forces and we don't have to verse each other for the, you know, for the customer base, you know, we can just join forces. If someone does that, think of it as they're standing with a shiny dagger behind their back ready to strike. I just have a feeling it's not going to be, like, you're going to lose 3 cups. So it feels like it's going to, whatever the failure is, you're going to go back 1 step. You're going to feel like you've lost everything, like you've lost it all. However, you do still have 2 cups standing here. You're just not looking at it. So this is, you know, loss. You are going to be very upset about this. This could be a personal loss because you do have the Knight of Cups that's here. You probably could lose something personal, like a personal person or a pet or something very close to your heart. But when it comes to me looking at this, I feel like you invest your emotions into your job. Like, your mental and your emotional capacity is all rolled up into this one big thing that you've pretty much absorbed your whole life into. So you've probably made it your whole purpose to earn money, get a good, you know, savings, have a 401k, you know, retirement ready, have a big house. Like, you've probably made it your whole life to be successful. And that's nothing wrong with that, not at all. But I feel like if you're always looking towards the future, someone might know that and they use something, or they become competitive, or they use something competitive, or they bully you or intimidate you to try and take an offer, which will be failure. However, I feel like, well, there is going to be a loss from this. There will be some sort of loss. I don't think it's going to be as bad as this is perceiving. I think it's going to feel this bad to you, to whoever this is resonating with. However, I feel like that sort of puts a flame under your butt. I think the saying is, like, it gets you a kick up the backside, and it gets you on a new idea, something. You will be kind of impulsive with it, but I want to find out what this is going to lead to, because I do know you're going to lose something, or you're going to feel like you're lacking something, or that you've lost a lot more. But it's okay. I'm going to take these. Yeah, no, it's fine. It's fine. So whatever, when someone's going to cheat you out, they're going to bully you, they're going to upset you, they're doing something vindictive. They're doing it purposely, knowing that it's going to affect you in a negative way. So it might be out of competitiveness, hostility, anger, fighting, conflict. However, from that, there was these. Now, new material offer, so you might actually get someone else come in and give you something. You might have a disagreement with someone. I've got a feeling you're great at your job. So this is for someone else. Like, I can feel this is definitely not for the original person I was reading for, who's like absorbs their entire life into their job and, you know, loves their life, probably have some mental discomfort or whatnot, like, you know, has their issues and stuff. This is for someone who probably does a great job, gets recognized for the job, absolutely dislikes the job. It's so full on, it feels like they're a non-stop running horse. They're burning out, they're getting very tired, or they're living luxuries, they've got issues, and it's probably affecting their mentality. Hence why they're always looking for other jobs, they're always looking towards the horizon for something new to come along, because this job, while they love it, and while they get recognized, and while they do a great job, it's sort of whipping a dead horse. That's what it feels like to them. And then from that, I've got a feeling like while they're going to feel lost and they're going to be sad to leave that position, it's for a better reason. Maybe they get an offer and they go towards a new job, or they get an offer, but their offer gets rescinded at the last minute, but something else will come along. So I feel like if something gets rescinded, you instantly are going to be feeling like this, or you're going to lose something else, but you're going to gain other things. So like, you might lose a contract and you're thinking, oh God, that's terrible. But in losing that contract, it actually opens a door where somewhere else is like, oh, we only didn't work with you because that one company worked with you. Like, we've always wanted to work with these guys, but, you know, now that they've left you, and we would love to start a contract with you. And it seems like it's going to build a really good base, like a relationship with this other company. It's actually going to expand, but it's also a lot of work. And it's like there's other areas you can learn, like you're going to do some extra learning with this new change. This could be that you get a new job, like someone hears about what's happening and they're like, well, here they offer you a job. And it seems like if someone does offer you a job, you are gonna, like, obviously, it's not like regret, but it feels like you're probably feeling like you're abandoning them, or you're upset because you are mourning the job. While you were brilliant at it, you still gonna miss it, and that's perfectly normal. That's a normal reaction. If you liked, you know, the job, it's not like, even if you had some beef with some people there, doesn't mean you have beef with everyone there. You're still gonna miss the people you loved and got along with. Like, I used to work in a place where the management was terrible, but I loved all the other workers there. Like, all my co-workers were beautiful people. I missed them. But do I still work there? No. Was it better for me in my mentality? Yes. This is like forever ago. I'm like old. I'm ancient, guys. So, yeah. I feel like it's going to help you get some breakthroughs in your clarity. So whatever's been holding you back here is going to help with that. This is a material offer. So you're either going to get money, you're going to get resources, maybe you get a better contract with more time for you and your family, and you consider that, you know, a material, you know, resource. It is a resource. Time, money, energy, all of that's a type of resource. So you could have a new job offered. It's going to help you mentally and give you a lot of success, but also it probably, like, this could be you learning in that job, or they're like, oh, well, in this job we actually have an apprenticeship as well if you want to continue on and, like, you know, move up into the next tier of this position. Let's say you do engineering, that, oh, we're gonna pay for you to learn your chemical engineering, and, you know, I don't know if there's many others, but like they get you to go into other sectors, if that makes sense. So that could be one thing. But yeah, I feel like whenever this happens, there could also be a brief period of time between your last pay from like a previous job or something and the newer job that you probably the pay is out and you actually go a little while without money, and you probably feel like this and you're trying to, you know, get by. Or it could also be that there is an issue, a discrepancy with the last pay, it could be that your first pay in the new job is terrible because you're just starting, so like, you know, it doesn't meet up properly. You could also consider doing something new, something creative, and it doesn't work out. You do something impulsive and it leads to you losing money, like you spend money on something that you're passionate about, but later on you're, oh my god, I didn't want to do that, I didn't want to spend that money. But pretty much for pole 3, it's all about mental clarity. We do have a lot of money and finance coming through. Yeah, but like you could also go into a relationship. If this is indeed a relationship offer, like someone's gone, let's go out on a date, I have a feeling like maybe you've just been in a relationship and you're still grieving it and you say no. Or you get over this grief and you go for it, but you probably feel, but I've got a feeling like you have a great time, but you feel bad for having a great time with that other person. It's like, well, did I not actually feel that about my ex-partner? Like, did I not really love him? I told him I loved him, like, you know, or I told her I loved her. So I feel like there's probably a lot of stuff for you to still unpack emotionally. That could be something. I just want to get some advice. Any advice for my beautiful pole number 3s with the energy and the changes that they're experiencing from the last 2025 supermoon? Any... Ooh, you know what? I nearly... The Magician, yeah. I was like, I wanted to like shuffle it, but it like stuck to my fingers, and I was like, do I take that or not? So, there we go. So... yeah, you focus on creativity, your skills, resources, and what you desire. Yeah, invest in yourself, invest in your finances, invest in what you love and what you want to do. The Devil. I got a feeling, yeah, see, I was feeling a bit of the Devil, like with that spontaneous spending. And feeling this instant, like, you know, grief and loss to energetic and, you know, spontaneous passion to loss and poverty again, to go from a low to a high to a low again. It's not, it feels very bipolar in a way, and like going up, down, because your emotions do carry really hard and really fast. So I found out, you know, so I know. And sometimes having that up, down, that yo-yo feel can be very disorientating, but it's very powerful, and it's uncomfortable. And I felt like perhaps that was the impulsiveness is like a habit, which would make a lot of sense. And then we had the Devil come out, so maybe get rid of toxic people, focus on working on yourself. I feel like is also going to be like, you're gonna have to look in at your shadows as well, and you know, do some work on what you do not need in your life. That could also be toxic people. That can be other toxic things, like maybe there's someone toxic in your life and you're like, nah, I need to get rid of them. Or even put a clear boundary and just not see them or deal with them. I know I have a Devil person in my life. I know exactly who they are. Once you get rid of them, you have a new start and you feel free. You can start, it's like, it feels like this card again. Like you have that spark, that, you know, growth, the energy, the creative spark. These sort of feel like they're working together. I mean, and look at this. You've got this side and this side. Like it's both coming out of the clouds. It's very new opportunities. I feel like it's a new offer, new job. It doesn't quite feel like a new partnership. So if this is a partner, that could be it. However, yeah, new creative spark. Maybe you start doing a hobby that you can gain money from, or you're working on something very specific that you don't really want to gain money from, but if you do, you're happy with that. You just need to get the creative energy, because you do have the Magician, so you've probably had something you've thought about like for a long time, but you're getting in your own way. So for advice, get out of your own way, work on yourself, and go with it. Follow that spark, follow that energy, because it's going to be the best thing for you. Oh, there was a lot of of messages in this one. All right, my beautiful poem number 3s, if this resonated, if anything seemed to connect with you in your life, if you want to like, share, comment, subscribe, I'd appreciate it. But for now, I'll leave you with lots of love, light, positive vibes, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye. Hello, all my beautiful poem number 4s. So if you chose via this image, so the beautiful moon with the key, this is your message for how the last 2025 supermoon is going to affect you. This is a general reading, and this is pretty much, we're going to look at all messages that come through for, you know, your personal life, mental, physical, financial, jobs, connections, family, friends, everything and anything that's going to come through, because obviously the moon does affect all of us. It affects our planet, our tides, our oceans, our animals, us, our psyche, our intuition. So yeah, it can affect us in many different ways. So I'm going to try and grab as much information and messages from these cards, regardless of how they come through, and take what resonates and leave what doesn't. So yeah, I just wanted to make it clear that these definitely aren't one-on-one, and that we I would never say this is 100% going to be happening to you. I just give you all the messages and you see what does resonate. So I also do not charge people. So if someone is trying to pretend to be me and say, oh, I need money, or I'll give you a personal reading for money, do not. It's not me. It is 100% not me. I do not take money, even for personal readings. I do not take money. Even the people I do know and I've met in person, I've done a reading for them, never charged. Never have, never will. Okay, so we've got a few coming through. Knight of Spheres. Ooh, okay, yeah. I'll pop that one down. Oh, it fell down to the floor. How funny. Okay. Here we go. Pop it over here so we got some more room. So this picture is making me think like you have the key to something, or you're going to learn or see something, or you've had the answer the whole time, or it's like something's really dark but there's like a beacon of light, like there's a light at the end of the tunnel. That was one reason why I felt drawn to the Black Tarot, because it's black and white for this specific image. So let's see, anything else? How is the last supermoon of 2025 going to affect my beautiful pole number 4s in their life? Let me just flip these ones over. Oh, wow. Okay, I love just looking at them and seeing and feeling things. I don't read energy quite as well as Baba Jolie. She is beautiful. She's a phenomenal reader. So I don't read energy like she does. I am an empath and I'm a very sensitive person, with having a Pisces as my moon sign. So I can't delve too deep into the energies of certain cards, only because it does linger for a very long time and it sits with me for a very long time. And it's just not beneficial for me to sit with the energies. If I do see something, or hear something, or something happens, I definitely mention it. Yeah. Okay, well, okay. And then we had that one as well. Let me see. So I'm also going to get advice for you guys from Spirit, like what advice to deal with all of this that's coming about because of our supermoon, our last one. So energy lingers. Some people don't feel it instantly, so just know that it's not like this is going to happen the moment, you know. it happens, like the moment the supermoon is. It can last for a long time, and it can, it's sort of like, it reminds me of the butterfly effect. You know how like the butterfly might flap its wings now, but in like 5 days time in this location, there's going to be something that happens because of that effect, you know? So it reminds me of that. It's like, it can happen at any time. It can be delayed, and it can be a big event that rolls into many other parts of our lives. All right, let's get to evaluating. You actually have, I think you've got a lot of major arcana. Yeah. 1, 2, 3. You got 3. You got 3 major arcana. Okay. I don't typically take too many reversals. I'm not a big fan of them, but I have been doing that for this reading. So here we go. 2 of Wands. So you're considering your future, making choices. You're stuck between certain choices of what to do. I think you're just going to go with your gut feeling, and take a leap of faith. The 9 of Spheres is your 9 of Pentacles. You're going to be living a luxurious life, enjoying little luxuries. This could be as simple as, like, you know, whining and dining a little bit nicer, buying yourself some nice clothes, getting your nails done, going to a salon, going out on a date, staying home, and, you know, doing a pedicure, manicure. It doesn't have to be anything too over the top and luxurious. It's just whatever you consider luxurious, like spending on yourself. Well, someone might buy themselves a car and consider that their luxury. Other people might be like, oh, I bought myself takeaway, that's my luxury. So it is in comparison to how you perceive it. The 8 of Wands is all about fast action and communication. This still reminds me of, like, look at this. The Fool and him look so... It's like he takes the leap and then he jumps again. Like he steps on something, he leaps off of it. I just feel like these are really in connection. The King of Pentacles is here. I had a lot of kings showing up, and I think the King of Pentacles showed up in either the second or third pile. So some of these have been showing up in other readings today, but I feel like collectively a lot of people have experiencing the same sort of energies and you know, events in the world, because when an event happens in the world, it tends to impact quite a huge amount of people. So yeah, 8 of Wands, communication. You might get an idea to do something and you jump into it, but yeah, very fast action. King of Spheres, King of Pentacles, and then you're followed by the Knight of Pentacles, but in reverse. So the reversal of the Knight of Pentacles, the Knight of Pentacles is all about slow and steady work, and, you know, putting in energy and effort to reap something, especially later on down the line. It's like forward thinking. So this could be when I read something like that, I think of the opposite. So I think of, like, you know, like you're not really being, you know, lazy or slow, you're feeling stuck. Yeah, like selfishness, being inconsiderate of others and how it affects others. Feeling stuck is something that I'm getting. But then you've got a choice again. So the Lovers is a choice. And then you've got the 3 of Cups in reverse. Now, this is like overindulgence or miscommunications. I keep feeling like, I feel like there's a repeat. Like we pressed play and then there was a glitch and it restarted and repeated itself. That's what I'm sort of feeling from these. Because I feel like you're making a choice, then you're making another choice. You've got communication, then you've got miscommunication. You've got living luxuries. You've got an offer, and this can also be romantic. You've got the King of Spheres. This is luxury again. Someone giving you the world. Could be a partner. Could be you've been communicating with someone about getting into a relationship with them, and then once you get in a relationship with them, you see the reality and you're, oh my god, I'm stuck, and then you leave. You make a choice to leave or to stay. But once you, either you stay or you leave. But this card is like feeling left out. So the 3 of Cups is all about coming together, celebrating, working together. So it's the opposite. There's no celebrating, there's less communication, there's miscommunication. You're feeling left out, and you can be overindulging in certain things, like food and money and luxuries and stuff, but not in a healthy way, like what, you know, the Nine of Spheres is. And this is directly underneath it. A Ten of Wands is like a lot of heavy burdens. It's getting too close to the finish line. So if you know what the original card is, like, this man's carrying a whole heap of, like, you know, logs and sticks up a massive hill, but like, think of it, at the top is his house. He just has to hold in there, and once he gets home, that's it, he's done. He doesn't need to do that anymore. He can relax. So I feel like you're just waiting for that relaxation. The Knight of Cups is someone giving you an offer. It could be a new relationship, it could be a new proposal, it could be something that's going to gain you emotional awareness. So you might get something offered to you. You might think about this for quite some time, because you do have the Hanged Man straight afterwards. Now, I know that your major arcana are your cards that last longer or have a bigger impact on your life. I think out of all of them, you have the most amount of a major arcana. So the Hanged Man, back to here, could be that you are thinking about things and considering it, especially from this and all the work you've been doing. You're probably trying to change your perspective, think about things. I feel like this is got to do with a lot of, like, romance. It could be the fact that you were going back and thinking about all the partners you've had, and the good ones, the bad ones, the ones you jumped into, the ones you left, how you felt, the luxuries you had, the lack of luxuries you had. But the Queen of Pentacles, she's very smart. She's good with money. She can make money pretty well, and she's also like a homebody. So you might be changing your perspective and, like, I don't want to work anymore. I want to be a stay-at-home wife and mother. Like, you might be changing your perception or ideas or thoughts of what you wanted to do or be. Someone might say, I want to marry you and I want you to be my partner, but I want you to be able to stay home, and I want us to have kids. Like, I need to have a child. I want to have a child, you know. So, like, it could be an ultimatum, I feel like. Hence why the Lovers have been here, and the Three of Cups, like, maybe they overindulge you. Maybe you feel very overindulged by a possible partner trying to, you know, make a future with you. I feel like in this case, perhaps, you know, you're really working on this relationship. The Ten of Wands is like you are working with an aim in mind. Maybe you are both putting in a lot of effort to, like, get the house and pay off your debts that you have individually and together. Hence why the Knight of Spheres, aka Pentacles, can make you feel stuck. Maybe you feel stuck financially being with this partner, and you both really need to work together, because you need to get out of this. But maybe it's a debt that was accumulated from overindulging in a luxury life that you couldn't really afford, which does make a lot of sense. Our past selves can impact our future selves, especially when it comes to indulgences, money, spending. So if you spend something today, let's say you spend $1,500 today, that will affect your future self, because you spent $1,500. That's $1,500 you don't have for anything in the future. And if something, you know, like accidental happens and you need to buy something out of the blue, you don't have the money for that because you spent it on something today. Does that make sense? That's sort of the feeling I'm getting from these two being together. The Queen, yeah, I feel like you're gonna be quite happy. The Hanged Man is all about slowing down, is one of them. So you probably, if you do choose to go along with this, if this is an offer for a job or working from home or something, like something creative, something you would love to do, but it's also something that, you know, you have to slow down for, you're really going to feel the slowing down. And the Queen of Spheres, I feel like that's like your outcome. You're going to be relaxed at home. You're going to be in control. You're going to be a homebody. You're going to have a very neat and tidy house. You're going to feel very organized and grounded. You're going to be living a luxury life, and you're going to have money. You're going to be comfortable. I think is the best way to do it, is to think about it. But I want to know this Knight of Cups. Who is this Knight of Cups, or what is it pertaining to? But I want to know if it's someone with an offer. Judgment. Okay, alrighty. Judgment's balance. It could be a yes or no, but this is definitely a calling. I feel like if someone gives you this offer, go with it. Judgment is also so if you remember the original, people are standing up out of their coffins as a trumpet gets blown. I don't know what to say. Tooted on, blown. It sounds terrible. However I say it. Anyway, it's like a calling. It's like you're on the right path. Take this opportunity. I feel like you had to really consider it. You slowed down. You thought about it. This can be divine judgment, so you're on the right path. This is something offered to you from the universe. This is you going to what you're supposed to do. This is your life's calling. So either it's a job where you can work from home with a lot of benefits. Things might be less money, but I feel like if that's the case, it's going to be more beneficial for you. Or this could be a relationship where you're going to have to change the way it's going to be a different kind of partnership that you've had in the past. Like, I feel like it's going to be really different. Do need to mention that, like, the Fool can be travel. So you might travel somewhere, live a great, enjoying your travel and everything, and, come upon someone, feel stagnant. You could feel stagnant because, like, you feel like it's only for a period of time, like it's only like a relationship you find overseas, but you got to come back to your home country or something. But I feel like the choice you make is most likely to be with the person, if that is like the case. But yeah, so this Knight of Cups, if someone offers you something that is a relationship, emotional fulfillment, it can be, something that is got a lot of communication with it, chivalry. So if someone's been very, chivalrous, and they're offering you a job, and they're being really, like, if they're very gentlemanly about it, and they're being like, we really, really want you in this job. Oh, you're so smart, and you'll bring great communication. Like, if they're like practically chasing you like a man would in a relationship, but it's for a job, take it. If this is someone like romancing the heck out of you, and they're not your type, but their actions are showing that they're a good person, and that they obviously want you, but not in a creepy way. Like, no stalkers, please. But they're a good person, and they want to give you the world, and they've shown they can give you the world, and you and me against the world, and stuff like that. I feel like you're really gonna think about it. I feel like you're really considering your options. You slow down, you look at it from their perspective, I feel. But do take up their offer. I feel like you might need to communicate a little bit more with them before you decide that, but it is going to be a lifestyle that's going to be beneficial for you. I feel like there will definitely be marriage in the cards as well for you. But any advice for my beautiful pole number 4 for the last supermoon of 2025, the energy, the impacts of it, how to deal with things. Oh god, a lot came out. Oh, I don't like that. I'll take this one because it was right there. 3 of Wands. Okay, so we really do have to think about our future, creativity, growth. Maybe get creative about your future, like how you'll grow into the person and into the goals you want. So I do tend to say, if this is definitely a relationship, or if this is a job, know what your goals are in life. Even though if it is a partnership, know that your partner has their goals. I always find it's good when you start dating or you're with someone, they should say what their goals and their future ideally looks like, and you should say what your goals and your future ideally looks like. And if they do not line up, is gonna be difficult. I'm not gonna lie, it's gonna be difficult. If someone says, oh, I want children, the other person's like, well, I don't. Well, that's not gonna really work out, is it? Unless you can find compromise, which might be, well, let's take eggs and sperm and we'll get someone else to be the, you know, to grow our baby and birth our baby. Like, that might help. If it's the whole fact of a child altogether, then no, you're going to have to find someone else, or you're going to have to agree that the person is, you know, what you want and need, and is, you know, you will compromise and be like, they're enough for me, I don't need an offspring from them for them to be of value. Could be something like that. That's just an example, but I think it will be maybe thinking of the growth you can make together in the future. But yeah, do consider what it is you want in the future and see if you can align it and help each other for each goal. So I know partners, like the missus will help the husband by making his food and making things more affordable and doing the housework and giving him a lot less to do so he can have more time, and he does the same for her so she's got more time, and you know, he supports her and stuff, like, you know, how typical men do. Like, you know, men support their wives, wives support their husband in different ways. Typically you can still support your husband in a financial way if you're capable. It's the same with, like, for example, if I got a partner and he's got a hard laborious job and I ended up with a job that I could sustain us both, and he's just like, I don't want to go to work, my body's sore, this job is so physical and it's actually affecting me, I'd just say, baby, I got it, you just, you know, quit, maybe have some rest for a while and find a job you love. That could be what this is as well. Like, you get into a partnership and they're like, why don't you just, if you don't like your job, why don't you leave? And I've got us for the time being, you do what you love. Like, maybe you love doing art or creating or something, you know, it could be that. Anyway, for advice, think about your future, what your goals are, grow together and see if you can work together in the future. I think this is going to be, this actually does resonate with these two. Like, you've been living luxury and now you're having to not overindulge because you want to save. I feel like you're really taking this moon is most likely making you think of futures, like, you know, 5 years from now I want to own a house. Well, what do I have to do that? So I think it's putting things into perspective. You're actually considering stuff. Or I want to save up for a holiday. Queen of Swords knows exactly what she wants. She doesn't take BS, she doesn't say BS, she cuts out the BS. She knows what she wants, what she doesn't want, and she says her piece, and you got to deal with it. She knows what she wants, and she's not compromising. She does not compromise. She's a very, she's a beautiful, beautiful queen. Out of all of them, there's nothing wrong with being. I think a lot of people think the Queen of Swords, because it's Queen of Air, is like, you know, a bit, you know, objective. Like, she's very, but might come off rude. However, she's just objective, she's intelligent, and that could be another thing that rubs people the wrong way. She has a lot of communication. A lot of you cards do talk about communication, so I feel like whoever, if this is indeed, if it's a relationship, a job, if it's traveling, I feel like you're going to do a lot of communicating, or you might learn something that helps you with communicating. That's another thing that's coming through. Ooh, and the bottom card was just stuck down when I picked it up. Oh, Queen of Cups as well. Okay. Alrighty, so pretty much for advice, I feel like you're getting told to get your future in a row, like get your ducks in a row, decide where you want to grow, how you want to grow, what your future you looks like, and aim for that future you, that perfect image, just like a vision board, but for the future. Cut out anything that doesn't serve you, anyone who is toxic and doesn't serve you. And the Queen of Cups, she is all about, like, what's the word, like intuition, intuitive. She's also a healer, and she's very caring and compassionate. She has a good control over her emotions, but she also listens and considers other people's emotions. So I feel like you also have the Queen of Pentacles here as well. So I mean, you've got 3 queens. Is there any other queen? Please no. I think there's the only queen missing is the Queen of Wands. But yeah, you've got, like, I feel like you're really having to get into, you want to be caring and kind, but you're also having to put up a safe boundary to make sure that your future will come out the way that you want it to. I feel like you're going to be working with someone while you do this, because threes do mean working with others. So if this is indeed a partnership, that makes sense. This could also be you working with a financial advisor. You've probably got a team or something, or you're working with friends to build a business together. But I am getting a lot of communication. So I think this supermoon is opening you up to view what your future self will want and need, what you ideally want, and to aim for it and to put in the steps for those goals. If you do have a partner, I think you're going to be utilizing, like, deciding if this is the right partner for you as well. I think you're going to be overhauling and looking far in the future in every sector of your life, like, you know, your finances, your job, your studies, your travel, your partner, your everything. And you're looking at what the ideal version of you in the future is, and how do I get there. For example, when I was younger, I always thought I would be very independent. I am a very independent person. I knew I wanted a lot of tattoos. I wanted to lose weight and be very strong and healthy, so I did soccer. I always wanted to have, I bought my own car. Everything I've had, I've saved or bought or paid off. I am still saving for a house and stuff, but like, I have a vision of, I'll have all my tattoos. I will be very independent. I'll be financially smart. I'll learn about my body and I'll take care of my health. That's pretty much all I've ever really wanted. And a house, like a very humble house. I don't need something over the top. So having that in mind, I do steps in my life to help get me there. So I'm saving for a house. I've got ideas and designs of houses. I look at land and decide where I'll live. I pay off my debts and stuff to get a better credit rating to get a house, stuff like that. And like, you take care of your health so you can have a really good job, so you can afford that. Like, everything you do, you put towards that. With the tattoos, obviously they cost money and time, so you could also limit that to how much spending per year, so you don't fall behind on the dream house, you know, stuff like that. So you put it in priorities, and even though, like, you might want a few goals and they all cost money, you, like, you know, you will itemize it and go, okay, well, I'll get this done. Like, for example, you want to travel a lot, but you're saving for a house. You're like, okay, well, I can only spend $3,000 a year on travels, you know? You like limit yourself to an acceptable rate where you can still save for what you want or do what you want. So that's what I've got for you, number 4. And if anything resonated, or, you know, you want to share that, please like, comment, subscribe. I appreciate any of that. And I'm leaving you guys with lots of love, light, and positive vibes. And I'm going to see you all in the next one. Bye.